Hey, I'm Emma. Welcome to Revenge Pulse, where every story hits different. Hit subscribe and let's dive in. The auditorium at Johns Hopkins was packed with families. Everywhere I looked, I saw parents holding flowers, siblings waving signs, grandparents dabbing tears with tissue. The air buzzed with excitement and camera clicks as we lined up in our caps and gowns. I checked my phone one more time. Nothing. My family knew about today. I'd sent the invitation 3 months ago. I'd texted reminders. I'd even called 2 weeks before to confirm. Mom had said, "We'll see, honey. Your sister's baby shower is that weekend, but we'll try to make it work." The baby shower won. I was graduating with my Doctor of Medicine degree, 8 years of undergraduate and medical school, countless sleepless nights, $280,000 in student loans, and the achievement of a lifetime. And I was completely alone. Dr. Jessica Chen didn't announce. I walked across the stage, accepted my diploma, and smiled for the official photographer. The applause was polite and general, meant for all graduates. No one screamed my name. No one stood up. No one was there specifically for me. Afterward, I stood outside the auditorium watching families take photos. A woman about my age was surrounded by what looked like 15 relatives, all jostling to get in the picture. Her grandmother was crying. Her father was beaming. My phone rang finally. It was my younger sister, Ashley. "Hey, how was the thing?" she asked. The thing. My medical school graduation was the thing. "It was fine," I said. "Cool. Listen, can you send me like $200? The baby shower went over budget and I'm short on my credit card payment." I closed my eyes. "Ashley, I just graduated medical school." "I know, that's awesome. So can you send it? I'll pay you back next month." She wouldn't. She never did. But that wasn't the point. Did Mom and Dad say anything about not coming today? Oh yeah, they felt bad, but the shower was all planned and Anne-Marie flew in from Phoenix. You understand, right? It's not like you needed us there. You're so independent. Independent. The word they always use to excuse their absence. "Sure," I said. "I understand. So about that $200. I sent her the money and hung up. I took a selfie in my cap and gown, diploma in hand, posting it to Instagram with the caption, "Dr. Chun, MD 8 years of hard work complete." My parents didn't like it. They didn't comment. They didn't even view it for 3 days. But my college roommate Sarah commented, "So proud of you." My study group friend Marcus wrote, "You earned this. Congratulations, doctor." My mentor, Dr. Patel, who'd supervised my research for 2 years, sent a private message, "Jessica, I'm incredibly proud of you. You're going to be an excellent physician." Those comments meant something, but they didn't fill the space where my family should have been. I drove back to my tiny apartment alone. Still wearing my cap and gown, I hung my diploma on the wall and ordered Chinese takeout. I ate it by myself, scrolling through photos other graduates had posted with their families. This was the pattern, and I'd been living it my entire life. When I was 10, I won the regional spelling bee. I came home bursting with excitement, holding my trophy. Mom was helping Ashley practice for her dance recital. "Mom, I won. I won the whole regional competition." "That's wonderful, honey." She didn't look up from adjusting Ashley's tutu. "Ashley, you need to point your toes more." When I was 16, I got a full academic scholarship to UC Berkeley, a full ride to one of the best universities in the country. I showed my parents the acceptance letter at dinner. Dad glanced at it. "Berkeley, that's far away. Why can't you go to community college like your brother for a couple years? Save us some money." "It's a full scholarship. It won't cost you anything. Still, you'd be so far from home. Who's going to help your mother with Ashley?" When I was 22 and got accepted to medical school, I called home ecstatic. Mom answered. "I got into Johns Hopkins medical school." "Mom, Johns Hopkins. Oh, that's nice. Listen, Can you talk to your brother? He's thinking about dropping out of community college again and he might listen to you. He spent 40 minutes on the phone with Brandon, who was 24 and still living at home, working part-time at Best Buy, and talking about becoming a day trader. He didn't take my advice. He dropped out anyway. The pattern was always the same. Ashley was the baby, the princess, the one who needed attention. Brandon was the troubled son, the one who needed guidance and second chances and financial support. And I was Jessica, smart, capable, independent Jessica who didn't need anything because I always figured it out myself. Except I did need something. I needed to be seen. I needed to matter. I needed my parents to show up for me just once. But they never did. After graduation, I threw myself into my residency. I'd matched at Seattle Grace Hospital for internal medicine competitive program, exactly what I wanted. I moved to Seattle in July and started the grueling schedule of a first-year resident. I didn't tell my family much about the move. When Mom asked where I'd be living, I said Seattle, and she said, "Oh, that's nice," and then launched into a story about Ashley's new boyfriend. I stopped sharing. What was the point? 2.5 years later, I stood in the master bedroom of my new townhouse, looking out at the Seattle skyline. The 3-story, 2,400 square foot townhouse in Capitol Hill had cost me $1.1 million. I'd closed on it 2 weeks ago. My residency salary had been modest $65,000 a year, but I'd saved aggressively and invested carefully. After residency, I'd joined a private internal medicine practice that paid $245,000 annually. I'd worked extra shifts, built a reputation, and been promoted to senior physician. Now I made $310,000 a year. I've done it all without telling my family anything about my financial situation. After years of watching them dismiss my achievements, I'd simply stopped sharing. When they asked about work, I said it's fine. When they asked about my life, I said same old stuff. They never pressed for details. They never seemed curious about what senior physician meant or how I was really doing. So they had no idea I'd been housed. No idea I'd gotten pre-approved for a mortgage. No idea I'd bought $1 million townhouse in one of Seattle's best neighborhoods. My mentor, Dr. Raymond Sullivan, knew. He'd been my attending physician during residency and had become a trusted friend. He was 63, semi-retired, and had given me invaluable advice about managing my career and finances. "You earned this, Jessica," he'd said when I told him about the townhouse. "Every square foot of it." My boyfriend knew. Ethan was a software engineer at Amazon, 34 years old, brilliant and kind. We'd been together for 14 months, and he was the first person I'd ever dated who actually celebrated my success instead of feeling threatened by it. "I'm so proud of you," he'd said when I showed him the closing papers. "This is incredible." Those words meant everything, because they came from people who actually paid attention to my life. The townhouse was perfect. Hardwood floors throughout floor-to-ceiling windows in the living room, a gourmet kitchen with marble 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a rooftop deck with panoramic views of the city and mountains. I'd furnished it carefully over the past 2 weeks. Mid-century modern furniture, art from local galleries, plants in every room. It felt like mine in a way nothing else ever had. Tonight was my housewarming party. Small and intimate, just 10 people. Ethan, Dr. Sullivan, and his wife, a few colleagues from the hospital, my friend Lisa, from residency, who'd stayed in Seattle, and Sarah, my college roommate, who was visiting from San Francisco. I'd spent the day preparing food: homemade bruschetta, a charcuterie board, caprese skewers, and tiramisu from scratch. Ethan brought wine. Dr. Sullivan brought champagne. When everyone arrived, we gave tours of the house, my colleagues, Uhet and Nat, over the kitchen. Sarah loved the master bathroom with its soaking tub and rain shower. Dr. Sullivan stood on the rooftop deck and said, "You did good, kid." We ate and laughed and drank wine. Lisa posted photos to Instagram, candid shots of us toasting on the rooftop, the spread of food on my dining table, the view from my living room windows at sunset. She tagged May housewarming it at Jessica Chun single clothes. "Stunning new place. So happy for you, friend." I didn't think anything of it. My Instagram was private. My family didn't follow my friends. It didn't occur to me that anyone from my old life would see it. I was wrong. My phone rang at 6:07 a.m. the next morning. I fumbled for it, groggy and confused. Who called this early? Mom? Hello. My voice was thick with sleep. Jessica, why didn't you tell us you bought a house? I sat up, instantly awake. What? Your Aunt Carol follows one of your friends on Instagram. She showed me the photos from last night. A townhouse? In Seattle? How is this the first we're hearing about this? My mind raced. Aunt Carol must follow Lisa. I hadn't thought about those connections. I bought it 2 weeks ago, I said carefully. 2 weeks. And you didn't think to mention it? We're your parents, Jessica. I looked at my clock. Mom, it's 6 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I've been up since Carol sent me the photos at midnight. Jessica, this is a huge house. It must have cost a fortune. There it was. The real reason for the call. It's a townhouse. 3 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms. You don't need 3 bedrooms. That's way too much space for one person. I don't live alone. Ethan and I. Who's Ethan? I closed my eyes. I'd mentioned Ethan exactly twice in the past year. She'd never asked follow-up questions. My boyfriend? We've been together over a year. Oh, a pause. Well, still, 3 bedrooms seems excessive. I can afford it. How much did it cost? And there it was. The question I'd been waiting for. That's personal. Mom, I'm your mother. You can't tell your own mother. Why do you need to know? Because I'm concerned. You're a doctor. I know you make decent money, but taking on too much debt isn't smart. Your father and I worry about you making these big decisions without consulting us. I almost laughed. They worried about me? They'd never worried about me in my entire life. They'd never had to because I'd always taken care of everything myself. I didn't take on too much debt. I know what I'm doing. Still, a house like that, in those photos, you could probably take out a home equity loan if you needed to access the value. My stomach dropped. Why would I need to do that? Well, not for you. But your brother is in a bit of a situation. Of course. Of course. This was about Brandon. What kind of situation? He started a cryptocurrency trading business. He took some courses online, really educated himself. He was doing well for a while, but the market shifted and he lost most of his investment capital. He needs about $52,000 to get back on his feet and keep the business going. I was silent. Jessica, are you there? You called me at 6 in the morning to ask me to take a loan against my house to give Brandon $52,000 for cryptocurrency trading. When you say it like that, it sounds bad. This is family, Jessica. This is what family does. We help each other. When has the family ever helped me? Mom, what are you talking about? We raised you, didn't we? We gave you a home, paid for your food and clothes. You did the legal minimum required of parents. When have you ever helped me beyond that? That's a cruel thing to say, is it? You didn't come to my medical school graduation. You've never visited me in Seattle. You've never asked about my career or my life in any meaningful way. And the first time you call me about my house is to ask me to loan Brandon money. We've been busy. Ashley has the twins now. They're a handful. And Brandon needs support. He's been struggling. I had $280,000 in student loans. Mom, I worked 80-hour weeks during residency. I struggled too. Did you ever ask about that? Silence. Your brother is family, she said finally. This is different. How? He's your brother, and this is an investment in his future. Brandon is 29 years old. This is his 4th failed business venture. The day trading didn't work. The dropshipping didn't work. The NFT marketplace didn't work. Now, cryptocurrency, the pattern is pretty clear. This time is different. That's what you said about the NFTs. Jessica, I'm disappointed in you. You have so much and you won't help your own brother. You could take a loan against that big house and barely notice it. I felt something cold settle in my chest. This was it. This was the only reason she'd called. I'm not taking a loan against my house for Brandon's crypto trading. So that's it. You're just going to let your brother fail? Brandon is letting Brandon fail. That's not my responsibility. You've changed, Jessica. Success has made you cold. There it was. The inevitable accusation when I didn't comply. No, Mom. Boundaries have made me realistic. I'm not giving Brandon $52,000. We'll see about that. Your father is going to call you later. She hung up. I sat in my bed, in my beautiful master bedroom with morning light streaming through the windows, and felt the familiar weight of family disappointment settle over me. And Ethan rolled over. What was that about? My family found out about the house. He sat up. How? Instagram photos from last night. My aunts saw them. And my mom wants me to take a home equity loan to give my brother $52,000 for cryptocurrency trading. Jesus. Yeah, what did you say? No. No. He pulled me into a hug. I'm sorry they're like this. Me too. Over the next 3 hours, I received 7 more calls. Dad. Ashley. Brandon himself. Aunt Carol. I didn't answer any of them. The voicemails were variations on a theme. Dad, your mother is very upset. Call us back so we can discuss this like adults. Ashley, Mom told me about your house. It's gorgeous. Also, can you help Brandon? He really needs this. Brandon. Jess, I know we haven't talked much, but I'm really onto something here. This isn't like the other times. I just need capital to trade with. $52,000 would change everything. Aunt Carol, Jessica, family helps family. You should be grateful you can afford to help your brother. I called Dr. Sullivan. They want you to take a loan against your house. He said, incredulous. Apparently. Jessica, you know you don't owe them this. I know, but they're going to make my life hell until I cave. Or until you set boundaries they can't cross. I don't know if I can do that. You can. You've done harder things. You got through medical school alone. You built a career alone. You bought a house alone with Ethan. But you know what I mean. You don't need their approval. He was right. But knowing it and feeling it were different things. That evening, I texted my mom. I'm not discussing this further. My answer is no. She responded immediately. Then don't expect us to be there for you when you need help. I stared at that message. When had they ever been there for me? Not at my spelling bee championship. Not at my high school graduation. Not at my college graduation. Not at my medical school graduation. Not when I moved cross-country for residency. Never. I typed. You've never been there for me. That's the problem. I deleted it before sending. Instead, I just wrote, noted. 3 days later, my parents showed up at Seattle Grace Hospital. I was in the middle of rounds when my pager went off. It was the front desk. Dr. Chun, there's a Robert and Linda Chun here to see you. They say they're your parents. My heart sank. I'm with patients. Tell them I'll call them later. They said it's urgent. They drove up from Sacramento. Sacramento was a 12-hour drive from Seattle. I excused myself from rounds and asked Dr. Patel, another attending physician, to cover for me. I went down to the lobby. My parents stood near the reception desk, looking out of place in their casual clothes among the scrubs and white coats. Mom was holding a gift bag. Surprise, Mom said when she saw me, arms open for a hug. I didn't move toward her. What are you doing here? We wanted to see you. And your new house. We brought a housewarming gift. She held out the bag. I didn't take it. You drove 12 hours without calling first. We wanted to surprise you, Dad said. Is that so wrong? Parents wanting to see their daughter? You've never visited me before, not in 2.5 years of living here. We've been busy, Mom said, but we're here now. Can you show us the house? I'm working. When do you get off? 7 p.m. But I'm not taking you to my house. Mom's smile faltered. What? You didn't come here to see me. You came here to see the house and convince me to give Brandon money. That's not true. But her face gave it away. How much equity do you think I have in it? I asked. That's what you want to know, right? You drove 12 hours to calculate if I could take out $52,000 without overextending myself. Dad shifted uncomfortably. Jessica, don't be dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being accurate. A few people in the lobby were watching us now. I lowered my voice. No. You need to leave. This is my workplace. We drove all this way, Mom said, her voice taking on a wounded tone. The least you could do is have dinner with us. No. Jessica Marie Chun, we are your parents. Dr. Chun. Dr. Sullivan's voice cut through the tension. He'd appeared beside me, his presence authoritative in his white coat. Is there a problem? No, Dr. Sullivan. My parents were just leaving. We're not leaving, Dad said. We came to see our daughter. Dr. Sullivan looked at them coolly. Sir, this is a hospital. Dr. Chun is working. If you're not here for medical care, you need to leave the premises. Who are you? Mom demanded. Dr. Raymond Sullivan, Chief of Internal Medicine and Dr. Chun's mentor. I'm going to ask you one more time to leave. If you refuse, I'll call security. You can't do that. We're her family. I can and I will. Dr. Chun has patients who need her attention. You're disrupting hospital operations. Dad's face reddened. Come on, Linda. Let's go. But now, they left. But not before Mom called over her shoulder. We'll be at the Sheraton downtown. Call us when you're ready to be reasonable. After they were gone, Dr. Sullivan turned to me. You okay? Yeah. Thank you. They drove 12 hours to ambush you at work. They want me to see their dedication. Make me feel guilty. That's manipulative as hell. That's my family. You don't have to see them, Jessica. You don't owe them anything. I nodded, but I felt shaky. That night, I didn't call them. I went home to Ethan and told him everything. They showed up at your hospital. He was furious. That's insane. They're staying downtown, waiting for me to contact them. Are you going to? I don't know. My phone buzzed. Brandon, Mom and Dad are really hurt. Jess, they drove all that way just to see you and you humiliated them in front of your boss? I didn't respond. Ashley texted, can you just have dinner with them? They're not asking for much. Just your time. Just my time. And then the $52,000. Always an ask behind the ask. Mom texted. We're staying until Sunday. We'd love to see you before we drive back, and maybe see the house. We're your parents, Jessica. You owe us that much. I showed Ethan. You owe them nothing, he said firmly. They didn't raise you to be this successful. You did that yourself. They don't get credit for your achievements just because they're biologically related to you. He was right. I texted my mom. I'm not available this weekend. You should head home. She called immediately. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Jessica, this is ridiculous. We drove 12 hours. The least you can do is have one meal with us. Are you really going to throw away your family over money? I wasn't throwing away my family over money. I was protecting myself from people who only valued me for what I could provide. I called Dr. Sullivan. They're staying until Sunday, I told him. They're going to keep pushing. Then you need to be crystal clear. No ambiguity. No room for negotiation. How? You tell them exactly what you told me. That you see the pattern. That you're done being the family bank. That your answer is final. They won't accept that. Then they don't respect you, and you need to be okay with that. On Saturday, I agreed to meet them for coffee. Not at my house. Not anywhere near it. A neutral Starbucks downtown. They arrived with the same gift bag from the hospital. Mom slid it across the table. We got you a housewarming present, she said. I opened it. It was a set of decorative hand towels from Target. Maybe $30 worth. Thank you, I said flatly. So when can we see the house? Dad asked. You can't. Why not? Because you didn't come here to celebrate my achievement, you came to assess its value for your purposes. That's not fair, Mom said. Isn't it? You haven't called me in 6 months, except to ask for money for Brandon. You didn't come to my graduation. You've never visited Seattle, but the second you see photos of my house, you're here within 72 hours. The math is pretty clear. We're here now, Dad said. Doesn't that count for something? It counts as manipulation. You drove 12 hours to make me feel guilty for having boundaries. Boundaries, Mom scoffed. You sound like a therapist. Maybe I should see one. Maybe they'd help me understand why my family only values me when I'm useful. That's not true. Then tell me one achievement of mine you've celebrated. One. Silence. You can't. Can you? Because you've never paid attention. Ashley's dance recitals. You went to all of them. Brandon's basketball games. Never missed one. My medical school graduation. You chose a baby shower. That was one time, Mom protested. It wasn't. It's been every time, my whole life. Dad leaned forward. Jessica, we love you, but this attitude you have, this is what success has made you cold. Think it's not attractive. There it was again. Success has made you cold. No, Dad. Success has made me see clearly. I spent 30 years trying to earn your attention. I don't need to anymore. So you'll just abandon your family? Your brother needs help. Brandon is almost 30. He needs to help himself. $52,000 would change his life. Or it would delay him learning the lesson he needs to learn. That failed businesses aren't solved with more money. They're solved with better planning, realistic goals, and actual work. You've always been selfish. Ashley had texted that morning. I could hear it echoed in Mom's face now. If wanting to protect what I've earned makes me selfish, then I'm selfish. We raised you better than this, Mom said. No. You raised Ashley and Brandon? I raised myself. I stood up. Where are you going? Dad demanded. Home. To my house that I bought with my money, that I earned through my career, that you've never once acknowledged. I'm done with this conversation. If you walk away now, don't expect us to welcome you back, Mom said, her voice trembling with anger. You've never welcomed me in. You've tolerated me when I was useful. I'm done being useful on your terms. I left them sitting there. My hands shook as I drove home. When I got to my townhouse, I sat in my car for 10 minutes, breathing. Ethan found me there. How did it go? I told them the truth. How did they take it? Badly. But I don't care anymore. He helped me inside. We sat on the couch, looking out at the city. Do you regret it? He asked. I thought about it. No. I regret that they're who they are, but I don't regret protecting myself. Good. My phone buzzed. Mom, you're making a huge mistake. Family is forever. Money isn't. I turned my phone off. Over the next 2 weeks, the messages escalated. Brandon texted daily. Just think about it, Jess. $52,000. I'll pay you back with interest. This is a guaranteed return on investment. Ashley sent long paragraphs about family loyalty and how I was tearing everyone apart. Aunt Carol called and left voicemails about my ungrateful attitude. Dad sent an email with the subject line, disappointed, your mother cried for 3 days after Seattle. I never thought I'd see the day when my daughter chose money over family. Brandon's business is failing. He's going to lose everything. This is on your conscience. The guilt tactics were textbook. Create a crisis, make it urgent, make it my fault if I didn't fix it. I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I did something I'd been putting off for years. I made an appointment with a therapist. Dr. Angela Torres specialized in family estrangement and toxic family dynamics. In our first session, I told her everything. You graduated medical school and they didn't come. She repeated slowly. They didn't send a card. Nothing. Nothing. But when they saw your house, they drove 12 hours within 3 days. Yes. Jessica, Do you understand what that tells you about their priorities? That they only care when there's something in it for them. Exactly, you're not a daughter to them. You're a resource. Hearing someone else say it made it real in a way it hadn't been before. I keep thinking maybe I'm being too harsh, I admitted. Maybe I should just give Brandon the money to keep the peace. Let me ask you something. If you gave him $52,000 right now, what would happen? He'd probably lose it in cryptocurrency trading within 6 months. And then, he'd need more money. And if you said no to the next request, they'd be angry. Say I helped once, why not again? Exactly. You can't fix their dysfunction by funding it. All you do is enable the pattern to continue. Over the next few weeks, Dr. Torres helped me understand something crucial. I did unto my family a relationship just because we shared DNA. Relationships were built on mutual respect, care, and support. My family had never provided those things. I started to feel lighter. 6 weeks after the Instagram photos, I received a letter, physical mail forwarded from my old address in Sacramento to my Seattle townhouse. From my grandmother, my dad's mother. I almost didn't open it. Dear Jessica, your mother told me about the situation with Brandon and the house. I wanted to write to you personally. I'm not going to ask you for money. I know that's what you're expecting, but I'm not. I wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you. I know I haven't said it enough or maybe at all. But I am. You've accomplished so much without any help from this family. That takes strength. Your parents have always favored Ashley and coddled Brandon. I've watched it happen for years and I've said nothing. That was wrong of me. You don't owe Brandon anything. You don't owe any of us anything. You've built a beautiful life for yourself, and you deserve to protect it. I hope you're happy, Jessica. That's all I've ever wanted for you. Love. Grandma Rose. I read it 3 times, tears streaming down my face. Someone saw me. Finally, someone from my family actually saw me. I called her Grandma, Jessica. I was hoping you'd call. I got your letter. Did you like it? I loved it. Thank you. Thank you. You have no idea how much that means. I should have said it years ago. I should have defended you more. You said it now. That's what matters. We talked for an hour. She asked about my work, my townhouse, Ethan. She actually listened to the answers. She told me she was proud of me. She said it 3 times. When we hung up, I felt something shift. Not everyone in my family was toxic. Just most of them. 3 months after the Instagram incident, I got a text from Brandon. You were right. The crypto thing failed. I lost everything. I'm moving back in with Mom and Dad. I don't know what to do. I didn't respond immediately. I showed Dr. Torres in our session that week. How do you feel about it? She asked. Sad for him, but not responsible. Good, because you're not. Part of me wants to help. Help how? I don't know. Advice. Support. Is he asking for advice? Or is he setting up the next ask for money? I thought about it. I don't know yet. Then, wait. If he genuinely wants to change, he'll demonstrate it through actions, not just words. I waited a week, then responded to Brandon. I'm sorry you're going through this. If you want to talk about what went wrong and how to move forward differently, I'm willing to listen. He didn't respond. 2 days later, Ashley texted Brandon is devastated. The least you could do is help him. So it was still about money, not about actual change. I blocked Ashley's number. 8 months after buying my townhouse, I stood on my rooftop deck at sunset, watching the sky turn pink and gold over the Olympic Mountains. Ethan was grilling salmon. Dr. Sullivan and his wife had come for dinner, along with Lisa and her new boyfriend. We ate and laughed and told stories. Dr. Sullivan toasted to my recent promotion to Associate Director of Internal Medicine at the hospital, role that came with a $340,000 salary and oversight of the entire department. 2. Jessica, he said, who proves every day that family isn't about biology. It's about who shows up. Everyone raised their glasses. Later, after our guests left, Ethan and I sat on the deck under the stars. Happy? he asked. Yeah. Really happy. No regrets about your family. I thought about it. I regret that they're who they are, but I don't regret protecting myself from them. Good. My phone buzzed. An email from Mom. Subject: Thanksgiving. Jessica, we're hosting Thanksgiving this year. Ashley and the twins will be there. Brandon is bringing his new girlfriend, and we'd love for you to come. It's been too long. Please think about it. We miss you. Mom, no apology, no acknowledgement of what had happened. Just an invitation as if the past 8 months hadn't occurred. I showed Ethan. Are you going? He asked. No. Are you going to respond? I thought about it. I could send a long message explaining why. I could detail all the ways they'd hurt me. I could demand an apology. Or I could just ... not engage. No, I said. I'm not responding. I deleted the email. What do you want to do for Thanksgiving? Ethan asked. Have people here. Dr. Sullivan and his wife. Lisa. Your parents, if they want to come. Sarah said she might visit. People who actually care about me. Chosen family. Exactly. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the city lights sparkle below us. My phone buzzed again. Grandma Rose. I heard your mother invited you to Thanksgiving. You don't have to go, sweetheart. You deserve to spend holidays with people who appreciate you. Love you. I texted back. I love you too, Grandma. Come to Seattle for Thanksgiving. I'd love to have you. I'd be honored. Thanksgiving Day arrived, cold and clear. My townhouse smelled like roasted turkey and pumpkin pie. I'd spent 2 days cooking traditional dishes and new recipes I wanted to try. Ethan's parents arrived first, bringing wine and homemade cranberry sauce. Dr. Sullivan and his wife brought flowers and stories. Lisa came with her boyfriend and a beautiful salad. Sarah flew in from San Francisco with expensive champagne. And Grandma Rose arrived with her famous sweet potato casserole and tears in her eyes when she saw my home. Jessica, it's beautiful, she said, hugging me tight. I'm so proud of you. We sat around my extended dining table, 14 people total, and went around sharing what we were grateful for. When it was my turn, I looked at these faces, people who'd shown up for me, supported my boundaries, celebrated my success, and loved me for who I was, not what I could provide. I'm grateful for chosen family, I said, for people who see me. Grandma Rose raised her glass. We see you, honey. We always will. After dinner, while Ethan and his dad were doing dishes, and everyone else was on the rooftop watching the sunset, my phone rang. Mom. I almost didn't answer. But something made me pick up. Jessica. Her voice was tight. I can't believe you're not here. I told you I wasn't coming. You didn't respond to my invitation at all. That's incredibly rude. What did you want me to say, Mom? That you'd come? It's Thanksgiving. Family should be together. I am with family. People who actually care about me. So, you're replacing us? With your rich friends, and your fancy life. I am choosing people who VV never asked me to take a loan against my house to fund someone else's failed business. Silence. We're your parents, she said finally. You're the people who gave birth to me. That's biology. Being parents requires more than that. After everything we've done for you. What have you done for me, Mom? Specifically, what have you done for me that you didn't also do for Ashley and Brandon? She couldn't answer. I graduated medical school, and you chose Ashley's baby shower. I moved cross-country, and you never visited. I bought a house, and the first thing you did was calculate how to extract money from me. That's not parenting. That's exploitation. You're ungrateful. I'm done. I'm done trying to earn love from people who only see me as a resource. I have people here who actually celebrate my success instead of resenting it. I choose them. If you hang up this phone, don't expect to be welcomed back. Mom, you never welcomed me in the first place. You're just noticing now that I stopped trying to force my way in. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but I felt ... free. Ethan found me in the kitchen. You okay? Yeah, I really am. He kissed my forehead. Good. Come up to the roof. Your grandma is telling embarrassing stories about your dad. We went up together. I stood among the people I'd chosen, the people who'd chosen me back, and felt the weight of 3 decades of seeking approval finally lift. This was my family now. This was my home. This was my life. And I was done apologizing for it. 1 year after I bought my townhouse, Ethan and I got engaged. He proposed on the rooftop deck at sunset, the same place we'd spent so many evenings talking about our futures. The ring was perfect as sapphire, surrounded by small diamonds, unique and unexpected, just like us. I called Dr. Sullivan to tell him. I called Lisa and Sarah. I called Grandma Rose, who cried with joy. I didn't call my parents. They found out through Grandma Rose, who mentioned it in a phone call with my dad, within an hour. I had 12 missed calls. I didn't return them. 3 days later, I received an email from Mom. Jessica, congratulations on your engagement. Your grandmother told us the news. I wish we'd heard it from you. We'd like to meet Ethan and discuss the wedding. Obviously, we'll want to be involved in the planning since we're the bride's parents. Your father and I can contribute $10,000 toward the wedding. Let us know when you're available to meet. Love, Mom. I showed the email to Ethan. They want to contribute $10,000, he said. After everything. It's a way back in. They contribute money. They get to make demands. They get to be involved. They get access to my life again. What do you want to do? Tell them no. Then tell them. I wrote back, Mom, thank you for the congratulations. Ethan and I are planning a small wedding with only our closest family and friends. We won't be needing financial contribution or planning assistance. Jessica, she responded within minutes. We're your parents. We have a right to be at your wedding. I stared at that word. Right. As if biology granted them automatic access to my life regardless of their behavior. E. wrote back, you have a right to nothing. Attendance at my wedding is a privilege that's earned through mutual respect and support. You've demonstrated neither. If that changes, if you genuinely want a relationship with me, based on who I am rather than what I can provide, we can discuss it. But it would require significant effort on your part, including accountability for past behavior. Otherwise, I wish you well, but I'm moving forward without you. Jessica, I sent it before I could second-guess myself. The response came an hour later. Not from Mom. From Dad. You've made your choice. Don't come crying to us when your life falls apart. I blocked their email addresses. Ethan and I got married 6 months later, on a beach in Maui. 30 people attended Dr. Sullivan, who walked me down the aisle. Grandma Rose, who cried through the whole ceremony. Sarah, Lisa, and friends from the hospital. Ethan's family, who'd welcomed me with open arms. No one from my immediate family was there, and I didn't miss them. As I stood on the beach at sunset, holding Ethan's hands and promising to build a life together, I felt nothing but peace. Dr. Sullivan toasted at the reception to Jessica and Ethan. May you always choose each other, support each other, and build a family based on love, not obligation. Everyone raised their glasses. Later, Grandma Rose pulled me aside. Your mother called me yesterday, she said. She wanted me to convince you to invite them to the wedding. What did you say? I told her that you invited the people who love and support you, and that if she wanted to be in your life, she'd need to actually be in your life, not just when it was convenient or profitable. How did she respond? She hung up on me. Grandma Rose smiled. Worth, Italiano. Primera, hug de air. Thank you for being here. Honey, I wouldn't miss this for the world. You deserve all this happiness. 2 years after I bought my townhouse, Ethan and I found out I was pregnant. We told our chosen family immediately. Dr. Sullivan and his wife bought us our first set of baby books. Lisa threw me a shower. Grandma Rose knitted blankets and sweaters. My parents found out through a mutual acquaintance who saw my pregnancy announcement on Facebook. Mom texted, "Congratulations on the baby. We'd love to be involved as grandparents." I showed Ethan. "What do you want to do?" he asked. Nothing. They weren't involved in my life. They don't get to be involved in our child's life. You're sure? Completely. Our daughter deserves grandparents who show up, who care, who don't see her as a resource or obligation. If my parents can't be that for me, they won't be that for her. I didn't respond to the text. When our daughter, Emma Rose Sechun Park, was born, I sent a photo to Grandma Rose, Dr. Sullivan, and our close friends. My parents weren't on the list. They sent a gift anyway, a expensive baby swing that arrived at our door with a card for our granddaughter. We'd love to meet her. Please call. I donated the swing to a women's shelter. 3 years after buying my townhouse, I stood in my living room, now filled with Emma's toys and family photos. Ethan was giving her a bath upstairs. Dr. Sullivan and his wife were coming for dinner. My life was full and messy and beautiful. My phone rang, unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Jessica. It was Brandon. How did you get this number? Grandma Rose. Listen, I won't take much of your time. I just wanted to say you were right. About everything. I was silent. I've been in therapy for 6 months, working through a lot of stuff. And I realized how much I used you, how much we all used you. The money, the expectations, the guilt trips, all of it. Okay. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Genuinely sorry. You deserved better from all of us. I sat down on the couch. Thank you for saying that. I'm working a regular job now. Construction. It's hard work, but honest. I'm learning what it means to actually earn things instead of looking for shortcuts. I'm glad, Brandon. Truly. I know I don't deserve a relationship with you. But if you ever want to talk, I'm here. No agenda, no asks. Just ... If you want to, I'll think about it. That's more than I deserve. Take care, Jess. He hung up. I sat there for a long time, processing. Emma's laughter echoed from upstairs. Ethan was making her giggle with bath time games. This was my family now. This was what mattered. Brandon's apology was nice. It was genuine, but it didn't erase 30 years of being invisible. It didn't undo the patterns. Maybe someday I'd reach out. Maybe someday I'd let him meet Emma. But today, I chose peace. I chose the life I'd built with people who'd always seen me. And that was enough.